It was almost dark as I began making my way back to my campsite after an enjoyable afternoon of hiking. After traveling only a short distance, I was surprised to see a small child sitting in the middle of the trail. She appeared to be about 7 or 8 years old, and as I got closer, I could see that she'd been crying. I asked her if she was lost, and she nodded her head. Thinking that she might have been out here for a while, I asked if she was hungry, and she nodded her head again. So I gave her a granola bar and a bottle of water. She devoured the food as if she hadn't eaten in days and drank every drop of water. When I offered to help her find her parents, she reached out her hand to me, and I took it, helping her to her feet. Since I had no idea where her parents' campsite was, and doubted if she did, I decided the best thing to do was take her to the ranger station. As we walked along the trail, she kept looking nervously towards the woods, as if she was afraid of something. The closer we got to the ranger station, the more hesitant she was, until she eventually just stopped walking and refused to budge. I asked her what's wrong, but she still didn't speak, just shaking her head no and standing in place. After a moment, she looked up at me with the saddest expression I've ever seen, and unexpectedly hugged me tightly. Then, she let go and whispered, "Don't follow me." Before I could react, she ran off into the woods. In spite of what she said, there was no way I could let this child go off into the forest on her own. So I went after her. I soon found myself deep in a part of the woods I wasn't familiar with, but she seemed to know where she was going, so I kept following her. The further we went, the more sinister the woods appeared, but I was convinced that it was just my mind playing tricks on me. Eventually, the forest opened up into a clearing, and I briefly lost sight of the child. As I entered the clearing, I was met by the chilling sight of a group of strange people, or rather, creatures, as they did not look human. They were pale and spindly with long, narrow fingers that ended in vicious-looking claws. Upon seeing me, they smiled, revealing mouths full of shark-like teeth. After overcoming my initial terror, or at least somewhat, I noticed the child standing at the back of the clearing. One of the creatures patted her on the head and said, "Well done, child." She then went back and sat on a dirty, tattered mattress. I knew I should run, but I couldn't bear the thought of leaving the child alone with them. The rational part of my mind told me that she's clearly been here a while and that I should go get help and then come back to rescue her. I had just convinced myself to do so when I realized that I couldn't move. The creatures were all staring at me with their sickly yellow eyes, and my muscles were all locked in place. As they slowly moved towards me, I saw the girl silently mouth, "I'm sorry." Then, there was only pain and darkness, until I saw a flash of light before my eyes. Was this it? Was my life flashing before my eyes? At this point, I was in and out of consciousness. Rather, it was my dreams or my life flashing before me as I felt myself getting weaker and weaker. It was almost dawn, and I heard the rustling sounds of leaves coming closer towards me. I couldn't move, frozen from fear and unbearable pain. "I found him!" When I looked up, I saw a man in a ranger's uniform. I heard more voices while the man was reassuring me everything will be okay. After I woke up again in the hospital, I couldn't feel my legs. I tried to move them, but there was not a hint of feeling. Worrying and scared about what I was about to discover was an understatement. Slowly, I raised the blanket to take a peek. I screamed. "Where are my legs? Where are my legs?" This was a nightmare. Is this what I deserve for trying to save that lost girl? It made me wonder if she was one of those things too. The nurse rushed into my room when she heard me screaming. I asked what happened to that girl in the woods. The puzzled look on her face told me everything. Perhaps she was just a hallucination. After the nurse checked my vitals, she told me dinner will be served soon. I asked her what happened to my legs. Her smile turned sinister, staring at me with the same sickly yellow eyes as those creatures I encountered in the woods. My heart raced and my breathing accelerated. She mouthed, "You shouldn't have followed me."